Welcome to my presentation on the future of UHC's medical library. I'm Julie St. Martin, Clinical Education Manager at UHC, and I have recently taken over management of the library, and I have a very exciting vision for the library and its future and being able to maximize its use and its accessibility to all staff. I appreciate you listening and taking part in our vision for the rebirth of the medical library as we know it. So, this is, as I said, a rebirth, a new identity for the medical library. Because libraries of today are being forced to change with the prevalence of online information databases, smart technology, and the virtual world. With that being said, the books are sitting on the shelves and they're collecting dust. That is one of the mainstay issues in many white paper research papers that I have read, that librarians are becoming antiquated because they're being replaced by technology, and those who are holding on to the love affair with the hardbound books and periodicals and whatnot, those libraries are dying. And that's really what I am trying to stop from happening with our library, because it is such a vital component, especially being a teaching facility here at UHC and within the LGH system. So, the average college student or young professional, and I'll refer to them as millennials, although not all of them are millennials, are experts in finding, evaluating, and using information. They are researchers by nature. They are starting at a young age, learning how to navigate the internet and find exactly what they're looking for. YouTube, Google, all of those are educating the youth of today, and quite frankly, they're educating those of other generations if they are not fearful of learning how to navigate the internet. So everybody is becoming much more efficient at database research. So that's where I come in. Well, I'm not a librarian. I was given this department, and I have a vision to create an environment that is at ease, comfortable, navigationable, aesthetically pleasing, even if that is from the staff or student or faculty's very own living room. That doesn't mean that I want to get rid of all hardbound copies of books. It doesn't mean that I want to get rid of the physical space of the library. What I want to do is I want to make it more useful for a resource center and what libraries of today are starting to look like. So, what is a library? When I was growing up, the library was a place to go to research, explore, read, learn, and grow intellectually. And it's still that. However, what's changing is the address. So the physical library addresses are remaining the same, but what we have to get used to is we're going from visiting the library up to being able to visit the library at the internet highway. So what does that mean? It means that the knowledge that's being dumped into the brains of today are being dumped in by books. Books will never completely go away, but much more information is being dumped in by our smart devices and how we access them, the internet, all of the databases that we have really at our fingertips is where most of us are learning information, technology, and resources of today. So we in the library need to make that more accessible and more user friendly for our staff. So what does that do to the physical library? How does it fit into this whole vision? I visited New Orleans Medical Library, and it's huge. It's beautiful and it's huge. And there's a resource room that does have hardbound periodicals, journals, and textbooks, but it's a very small portion of the library, about a fifth of the entire library space that they have allotted. And the rest of it is committed to a gathering place for collaboration, work groups, team projects, independent study time, and access to available resources, both with their own technology and then that supplied by the library. With that being said, there were charge stations, there were couches and chairs that looked almost like a den and then had a television, and up against the wall there were USB ports where you could actually plug in and mirror your devices onto the television so a team could collaborate around a couch with a couple of chairs. There was a coffee table, and they could view whatever project that they were working on the television in front of them. And that's really where I want to go with the library. Make it a place for our students, for our staff that are continuing their education to go and to be able to really enjoy and access through technology what they already have at their own fingertips with their own personal devices, laptops, and that sort of thing. So, what is my goal? My goal ultimately for UHC's medical library is to offer a website that has accesses to all the resources that we have all in one place. It would have a portal for the LSU students and faculty to link them directly to the resources available through the LSU library. It would also have a portal for the LGH staff to link them to the available resources and databases that are provided by the system. That's not being utilized today. It can also have a patient portal for patient education. Another one of my goals is to let the staff know what we do have in the library and what resources we do have online. Have a request link for material that can't be accessed through the available resources that we have. IT has granted us a UHC medical library at lgh.org email address. This can be linked into the website, and then also have available media in the physical library to support accesses to these resources by both hardware in the physical library and also capability of them being able to mirror their own devices that they already have via iPads, notebooks, smartphones, and the like. So this Library of Tomorrow at UHC is definitely a multidisciplinary joint effort between the library, IT, GME, Clinical Education Administration. We are, for those of you who don't know, it looks like we'll be changing our LMS system. We currently use Elsevier. Potentially we'll be using HealthStream. IT is currently in talks with whatever the replacement may be. So we will be replacing Clinical Key for physicians and for nurses and for pharmacy. That is what we currently have. And I put dollar signs next to Clinical Key because Clinical Key is a super, super expensive product. And honestly, we haven't really been using it. So what I would like to do once we do have their counterpart, the replacement, is to actually let the staff know and have easy accessibility to what resources we do have available for them. Why am I doing this? Because everyone I've asked had no idea that we even had these resources available. But once I took over the library and I started reviewing the subscriptions that we had in-house, 5 of those subscriptions were ordered with a hard copy subscription, as well as online access to that same periodical or journal. Of those 5, none of the online portions of them had ever been activated. So when you order a hard copy with the online portion as well, the extra cost for the online portion can run anywhere from $200 to $400, and none of them were accessed. So that's just money just poof disappearing. And I want to alleviate that from ever happening again. I really want to maximize the resources that we have. I want to be able to convey to our staff, to our faculty, to our students what the resources are and why we need a library. So, most hospitals that promote and cultivate continued education, employee retention, and employee engagement will have a medical library. And I know this because I went around and stalked the major hospitals that I knew of in Louisiana. And what I found out was most of them had libraries. So, for instance, Oster Health System, they have a medical library. They have one with a physical address in New Orleans, but they also, anybody that is in the Ochsner Health System has access to the online library. Leonard Chabert Medical Center has a physical library within their hospital. And again, all of the employees have access to the virtual medical library online through Ochsner. Christers Health System. Their physical library is in Texas at the Santa Rosa site. However, all Christus Health System employees have access to the virtual medical library that they have developed through their website. Baton Rouge General, also a teaching facility. They have a medical library for the medical education, and they also have a health library for the patients. Louisiana VA Hospital, same thing. VA access, there's a physical library in Shreveport, and there is virtual access for all VA hospital employees, and there is a health library there for all of the patients. So how about Lafayette General Health at UHC? This is what our library pretty much currently looks like, and it's just slowly collecting dust. So would you rather see this, or would you rather see a user-friendly website that has messages about how we support our vision available to the staff, to the faculty, to the student, anyone continuing their education, with contact numbers to call the library or an email address to request information? Maybe with a page committed to the portals and to the resources available for the individual roles or job descriptions that we have here. So maybe a portal that would access the LSU library for the faculty and the students that we have here, a website link for the resources that we have through HealthStream or EBSCO or whomever we decide to go with, and then even a patient portal for a health library available for the patients to look up their condition. Hours of operation. And so our library could actually be used as a collaborating physical space, a space to go in there to accentuate the devices you already have, to access or copy the hardbound periodicals, or to access a textbook. Yes, those will still all be very viable options in the library, but will also be available as a copy machine that you can Bluetooth your smart devices too, so you can make copies of whatever you need that you've accessed through the databases that are available to you. A place to go and sit and mirror your devices, collaborating with your team, and being able to really have a comfortable space for the teams to go and work together. So in closing, I want to let you know what I've already done to accomplish this goal. I've put in 2 physical PCs, and we also have a laptop available that are not linked to the network. We still have the 0 clients that are in there so that they can go in there and chart if they need to and whatnot. But we also have 2 physical PCs in there that have access so that the media that they open up in the databases that are available to them will not be blocked. Computer 1 currently has Camtasia and Microsoft software on the computer already so that they could create presentations, and it's available to staff to use in-house 24 hours a day. I have purchased a television with Apple TV in order to mirror Mac devices, whether it be a Mac computer, a Mac laptop, or an iPad or an iPhone for team collaboration. I've also created this email address with the help of IT, UHC Medical Library at lgh.org, for requests for help, questions. I have requested a replacement for the head librarian to be a library information specialist. I think that this would better serve what the vision is. What do I still need? What I still need is access to available resources within the new LMS system, and a partnering with IT and the library in order to consolidate content to better serve the database consumers. So basically what I need is to learn all the accesses that we do have available to us. Currently, LSU students and faculty have access to the New Orleans Library. Lafayette General Health staff had access to Clinical Key. Then the medical library at UHC had its own subscriptions separate from the LGH subscriptions. And as I said before, none of the online accesses were even activated ever in the life of the subscription. So what I'd like to do is to consolidate all of those, know what our resources are, and then that way We can develop a website that it can act as a one-stop shopping in order to access all of the available resources, whether you're that LSU faculty or student or you're that LGH employee. So that's basically it. I just want to thank you for your time and participation, sharing this vision with me. So thank you again.